right. Well, today on the Brett Allan Show, I'm so excited. We have the best guest ever, Jessica Francis Dukes. And just so you know, this interview will not air for a while as a caveat, but we are going to talk about so many great projects that she has been a part of and will be a part of. The Gilded Age, Earth Abides, of course, the one and only Ozark, where she played Special Agent Maya Miller, Jessica Jones. I mean, the list goes on and on. Thank you for your time. It's
Thank
great to
you.
meet you.
It's great to meet you. I love your show.
Thank you. Well, you're so kind. Well, I'm excited to talk to you for multiple reasons. We were joking before we started recording about Agent Maya and her character and all the other things you've done. So you've been busy. Yes, you've had a lot going on.
It's been a journey and it's been so amazing. It's just like every time I think that I've gotten that big thing that just means so much with the beautiful cast and the beautiful team, I go to the next thing and it's just as much of a family and just great environment to work in. I've been really, really lucky.
Yes. So you have played a lot of great characters throughout the trajectory of your career. I'm interested to know, um, for you, when playing a different character, we'll get into these other projects, but when you get presented with the character, or perhaps maybe are interested in playing a character, what for you is important when choosing or when deciding you're going to audition for something? I know it's different for everybody.
Yeah, I think first, immediately, I look at the team of people, the producers, the writer, the director, to see if I've, seen what they've done. And because I really love the people that I work with, no matter how amazing the project is, the people have to be, great people. And so that's the first thing I look at. And then I read, I read the sides. If I have a script, I read the script. And I am such a person that loves multidimensional characters that have so many different sides to them that get to go on multiple emotional journeys. I love dark comedy. I love mystery. I love science fiction, all of it. So I usually look for in the script all the things that I love, all the things that excite me. And then it's the character, after the script, it's like, is it, or the world after the character, is this a world that I want to live in, whether it be for a short amount of time or a long amount of time?
Yes, well, let's start with the current projects that you're working on. You have, of course, Earth Abides and the Gilded Age. Sorry, let's talk about both of those and what you can share and how excited you are for both of them.
Well, first of all, Earth Abides does air December 1st, and then it'll be every Sunday after that on MGM Plus and Amazon Prime. I am so very excited for Earth Abides. It is a limited series. It is so full of heart. It's not your normal post apocalyptic story. It's not your normal end of the world story. It's actually a beginning of the world story to me. I can only speak for myself. It really is sort of about how you move forward after everything is gone. My character, Emma, is when we meet her in a place where, without spoiling it, everything that she knows has shifted. And it's
Hmm.
a matter of how she finds herself in this new world. So what she thinks as the only survivor of the end. Um, so, what does that mean to walk through life when life is, or the life that you know is no longer?
Yeah, so I'm just looking at your projects that you've done throughout your career, as I mentioned, and telling stories is just, I think, so fascinating because what you do is just so different than what, anybody else might do as an 8 to 5. So, what was it that interested you in acting and was your way into this? Was it something that you saw on television? Was it because I feel like this world chooses you in a lot of different ways?
That's exactly what I was about to say. It's for some of us, I can't speak for all actors everywhere, but for some of us, it feels like a calling. I don't remember ever wanting to do anything else. I don't remember that moment of like, aha, I want to do this. I've always wanted to do this. If you ask any of my family members, there was never a doubt, even at 5, that I wanted to be on stage. And that was the first thing. And I started, getting all these little like Broadway first cast recording or original cast recordings. And I would just sing Broadway show tunes in my room. And I wanted to go to New York. I wanted to go to Broadway. And then the first show I saw on stage was a one-woman show by Anna Devere Smith, and it changed my life. And
Wow.
seeing her up on that stage and one woman taking on, I think, up 30 or 40 characters, I was like, I want to do that. And then my next thing I saw was Aida on Broadway, and Heather Headley standing in the center of the stage, this solo Black woman, and singing to this audience of hundreds of people, and had everybody in the palm of her hands. And I was just like, I was watching her, but I was also watching the audience, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to affect people like this. I want to affect change. I want to influence hope. I want to influence all these things. And I get to do that with Earth Abides. And I'm just so excited that I get to play this character that will hopefully influence joy, hope, love, change, strength, power, and fierceness.
Yeah, I would say so for sure. Well, again, this limited series is set to premiere in early December. And I just think that it's going to be so good for so many people. When you're playing these different characters, is there something that you learn about yourself specifically when you've played each individual one? Maybe it's Agent Maya from Ozark or this character or other characters that you've played so far.
1000%. With every character, I think the first thing I look at is, where does this live in my body? Who
Mhm.
is this in me? Maya Miller was a workaholic. She was no joke when it came to her job, but she also was a people person. She wanted to help people. And I'm a workaholic. I'm not a mathematician. I don't, but I'm a workaholic. I love what I do. And when you love what you do and you have that passion, then you kind of stop at nothing to get the job done. And that was Maya, and that's how she lived in me. And then with Emma, Emma is Mother Earth. She is Mother of Nations. She is this being that is connected to the earth, and I'm connected to the earth. That was one of the first things I remember reading, is just like Mother Earth. I remember it saying in the book that the writer says, Mother of Nations, and he names all these goddesses, and I was like, oh, well, where's that in me? And so all of them come from something in me, and then in turn they end up reintroducing me to myself. And Emma did that. Emma reintroduced me to a part of myself that I think sometimes business and profession and all these things that we deem so important in the world, the woman who she was when all of that is gone, when there is no social media or bills or the job or the this or the that, it's just about family and love and survival. And what does that mean? It brought me back to some things inside myself as well.
Yeah, I would say so. Now, when you move from one character from another, how easy is it to shed that skin as a storyteller and really just start embodying something new? Or do you sometimes bring pieces of those with you and it might take a little while to disengage from them, so to speak? I think that's probably one of the most fascinating things I feel like that you do as an actor is you play these different characters and embody them, but then you're able to move on to something new like Earth Abides.
Yeah, Maya had a lot of time in between Maya and Emma, so that was kind of an easy shift. But going out of Emma, I think a week later, no, I got home from Vancouver after shooting Earth Abides and had a fitting for Gilded Age 2 days later. So it was a quick shift for me. But the process of getting out of character is almost just as much work as getting into the character. So I meditate, I get massages, I'm back with my physical trainer, all these things to get into Jessica's body again after living in Emma's body. And then I can go into, a different character because I've sort of, like you said, shed that skin. But it takes a lot of work. especially if you're there every day, all day, living this sort of world that you're creating with this entire team of people, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, that's a wrap, and you go home and you start to do the next thing, and you just have to give yourself grace and patience and time and love, and yeah, you have to take care of you in order to play them.
Yes. Well, I have a question for you about Agent Maya Miller. I think that's interesting. It's been a couple years since the show ended, but I spoke with actress Julie Benz recently about how her character, Rita, ended and how she felt about that. And if she was given the chance to, you know, maybe fight for the role or have it end differently. For Agent Miller, do you feel like that? And this is just, I think it's hard because you don't know, as we joked earlier about you do what's written for you and you play the character well. But do you feel like storylines like that um, are resolved okay with you in your mind as an actor and you could put it aside, or would you, if given the chance, consider going back to the character, or maybe not going back, but maybe ending the story differently? Because she was such a deep and interesting character. It was just, you did so well with it, and you just never knew which direction it was going to go. And then it went a direction that you weren't necessarily expecting. But it's just all so fascinating overall, I think.
Two of my favorite words in this industry is trust and collaboration.
Mm,
And I think that when you're on a show that, one, I was a fan of the show before I even got the audition. So I've been a Laura Linney fan for so long. I've been a Jason Bateman fan for so long, all these wonderful people. And then, Chris Mundy, the show creator, um, every time I read the script, he always said, if you have any questions, let me know, da, da, da. And I trusted him so much, as well as Jason, which most majority of my scenes were with Jason. So it's a lot of like trust involved, and you just sort of go, oh, this is the world. Oh, this is who she is. Oh, this is what happened, because we would get the scripts. It wasn't like we had all this whole journey together. We would get the scripts when it was time to shoot, and I was reading through it as an audience member and being like, oh, that's what's happening. And even in that, it's like this excitement, because you're also a fan of the show, to just like, be a part of the team creating this big story. So I was very happy with the way the show wrapped up. I was very happy with the way Maya wrapped up. And to answer your question, would I go back to it if Ozark ever came back? Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. Well, again, as I said at the start, I've been a huge fan of your work. I
Thank you.
love that we got a chance to meet and have this conversation again. Um, you star as Emma, polar opposite of Ludwig, Alexander Ludwig, who's in the series as well. And I can't wait for people to see this. Again, this series is set to premiere early December this year. And of course, a million other things that you're working on. Earth Abides, of course, is great. I can't wait for people to see this. Thank you for your time. It's been an honor meeting you.
Thank
And
you.
I can't wait to see what's next. You just have a lot of things you're working on. So hopefully you get a chance to breathe a little bit and enjoy some of this.
Thank
But
you.
such is the life of an actor, right? For
The
sure.
best life ever. I love it. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, Jessica, thank you so much for your time as well. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.